goes to a doctor, tells the doctor, "Doctor, I've got a terrible pain in my left leg. Please, won't you take a look?" Doctor says, "How long has this been going on for?" And the man says, 4 years. He says, "Yeah, I think we best take a look. Any other symptoms?" The man says, "Yeah, lots of pain. I've got fever." Doctor says, "Get on the bed." He takes a good look at the guy's leg and he says, "Man, I'm afraid I have terrible news for you." The guy says, "What?" He's completely bewildered. Doctor says, "Looks like we're going to have to amputate." The man, of course, can't believe what he's hearing. Says, "Doctor, give me some time. I've got to think about that." Goes home, realizes maybe 4 years of a bad leg has been enough, and maybe it's time. Goes back to the doctor. He says, "Okay, doctor, I've thought about this. I'm ready. Let's do it. Let's get rid of the leg." Doctor makes a booking. Man goes into the hospital and goes into surgery and comes out. When he wakes up, doctor's next to him, right there at the bed. Man says to the doctor, "How did it go?" Very apprehensive. The doctor says, "Well, I've got bad news and I've got some really good news." The man is troubled. He says, "What the hell? What do you mean? Give me the bad news first." Doctor says, "Well, unfortunately we amputated the wrong leg." The man is, of course, understandably completely horrified. He says, "Doctor, how the hell can there be any good news after that?" Doctor says, "Well, the good news is there was nothing wrong with the other leg to start off with. It's perfectly fine." Joke or not a joke? Is that funny? That's the first question. Second question is, if it is funny, funny for who? Funny for an amputee? Possibly not. Funny for someone else? Most likely. Happens to be that guy was me, except for that leg bit. They got the leg right, and I made sure of that because I marked the leg with a Sharpie, big fat pen, to say this leg on the bad one and not this leg on the good one, and even made stitch marks where they were supposed to. They said they were going to amputate. My point is, sometimes as an amputee we need a sense of humor. There are many times when I've managed to laugh when I wanted to cry, and it's pulled me out of a difficult situation. I'm not suggesting that we minimize our difficulties or our pain, but I'm suggesting that sometimes we need to find the humor or the funny in something, and we can have a sense of humor at times, or we can be cynical. Ultimately, it's going to be a choice. I think we need to be sensitive of where's that line between what is funny, what is amusing, and whatever, and what isn't. I happen to find that joke very funny, but I would imagine there's some people out there who think it's not funny at all. And if I offended you, I apologize, but I wanted to make a point. How cool is this? They're a breeding pair of, and I'm not sure exactly which bird of prey it is, but they've been sitting up here in the trees above me, doing their calls to and fro, and it's so rare to see that and to hear that. Stoked, completely stoked. So I'm out here in a forest called Eden, very beautiful, and I came up here today because there are 3 things I wanted to talk about. The first I've talked about, that's that joke that I told you about the amputation, and I'm sorry if I offended you. I wanted to make a point about having a sense of humor at times and not becoming too cynical about life, and being able to laugh at ourselves, not at the expense of someone else, or not allowing anyone else to joke at the expense of myself, but I thought it was important to see that cynicism versus having a sense of humor was really, really important if I'm going to be an amputee. That's going to take on life with a sense of optimism. The second point I want to make is that the difference between what I know I need to do and what I do for me is depression. The balance between intent and execution, sitting at home, knowing what I've got to do, or getting out there and doing it, that difference, that to me is depression. And it really gets me down. And of late, maybe it's the COVID thing, maybe it's because a lot has changed, but I've not been getting out enough, and it has affected me negatively. But here I am out here today, and I'll tell you already, just being out here for a short while has made a difference, and I feel a lot better about life. Quick true story. On Saturday I went to a shop. I had to go and pick something up, and outside the shop, after I had done my thing, a guy came to me. He was from the UK, from England, and he started a conversation, and he asked me all about my disability, what it's been like. He asked about the prosthetic, completely amazed at what I was able to do, and with how much ease I was able to walk. So I gave him the whole spiel on my Rheo setup, and he must have asked me, I don't know, like 20 questions. Very friendly, awesome guy, and we had a really good chat. I finished my coffee, I walked off, and it occurred to me after I spoke to this guy that I had never asked him a single question about himself. That we must have spent at least 10 minutes speaking to each other. I never, not once, did I ask him anything about him. Where are you from? How are you doing? What are you doing in Cape Town? You enjoying yourself? Your family here too? Where are you off to? When are you going back to England? Not once. And that brings me to a point I wanted to make, a very important point today. And this is possibly the most important thing I'm going to talk about today. Is it's not always about us. It's not always about the amputee. I've noticed that a lot of people pay attention to us being amputees. They come and ask us questions. Sometimes people say it's amazing to see you out here, seeing that you get on with your life despite the amputation, despite what's happened to you. And I think it's quite easy to become self-centered. If I think of the amount of work and effort other people have put into helping me to overcome this disability, I'm completely humbled by it all. And occasionally, just occasionally, I need to remind myself that there are a lot of people that have helped me to make this work, and to pay attention to those relationships and to those friendships. And I have neglected those at times, but I've also made an undertaking to myself that, just see if we can get through here. I've made an undertaking that the balance of this year and next year has got to be the year where I see my friends a bit more and show my appreciation for what they've done to me, done for me, not to me, for me. So guys, that was it. That's the 3 things I wanted to mention. I promised 2 weeks ago that I'll be back in 2 weeks. Yeah, got that done. Alright guys, it was great to be out here with you guys, to share this with you, and hope to see you soon. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. Put your comments out there. It's really good to hear from you guys. If you have questions, put them out there, because I'll be doing a Q&A pretty shortly, and if you want to have your question answered, I'll do my best to do that. Put it in the comment section, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Ciao.